They say get a job. They say different types of jobs. I'm looking for ways and how I'm looking for the ways of how they went from other houses and how they went to get this own way to get a job, looking for these ways. And when they came to rob, they chose the house they had in suspicion, going from a 9 to 5, hitting from these days and how the times and when they hit to go from the ways that they do arrive. They looking from how numbers that they see these from these numbers. They looking from those numbers, and after they saw those numbers, how could they know what could go in the reside of their own family business? They saw everything with no business, and they saw the senses. They came from the business, and then they saw everything that we came because we understood no business from our sense. So in which that came from that, they pushed and they gave from that. They said anything for everything and anything from everything. I saw from that anything, and they said when everything came from the ways that we gave from everything, maybe we couldn't understand from its own restitution. I realized the abuse came to me. So in which they came from its own ceremonies of men. These old men, the masters of their own kin, went down from generation to time, generation to go, and then they illuminate from different ways of its own tribe. Hold backs and dives, or hold backs and grives, hold backs in times, or grow back in time. One time to sing this own shit, when I've been looking at these rhymes to be telling me from this old line, I've been holding to its own ways of its own fine. I've been trying to get this shit by its own ways and grime. And I said, wow. Once I went down from line to line, changed to its own suit of a partner by its own artist, by how they reached to a structure. They said, choose your own shit and how you want to go of this, how you been bold of this, even though you want to get a roll of this, toast of this. You want to toast to this, you couldn't even boast of this. We ghosted this, we've been ghosting this. We've already been building this shit from underground. You couldn't even shit this shit until you went into town. That's the darkest thing that you've ever seen in your life, to hold this thing, and even though you saw the hold of the thing, you couldn't even see your life. I've been holding this shit out from my life and holding out, and then I couldn't even grab this shit from a bite. I've been knowing this shit from the day of my life, from the shit that been coming down from this 22 to 23 days when I came back and then came back to my own north. They said it in the face, they couldn't even send it in the face. I've been centering even though they said it in the face. Better in the face, I couldn't even get better of my own face. I said, do I have to see this shit when I've been looking to this? I've been looking for my numbers. I couldn't even look at this. Is it part of the change of what I've done? Is it part of the change that you tried to make me say that I was done? Am I trying to get over when they say the shit has been over? We've already been over. We're already part of the trend. We're part of this shit. We've been doing this shit since the new of our new kin. We've been holding this shit down. We've been writing this shit down. We've been gotten this audio. You couldn't even get your file bios and then shit down. No, man, that's just another way on your God's floor and where you go bio. Oh, you couldn't grab this shit by way of a mile. Oh, you want to go so high, but you didn't reach so far. So we have to reason of why we tell you why to fall. I saw everything, you hit so tall, you want to give me everything, and I want to say everything came from this own short of my own quipsure. I tried to say when I opened the scripture, I said shirt, I hold shirt, and I couldn't even grab my own shirt. It came from this ways and L's, hold back and then gave myself, and then they rang a doorbell. They said, how do you do? How do you do? What do you know when you want to give yourself when you live in a shoe? I said nothing when it came back, when I've been looking for raps and rhyme, looking for my souls, even though I grabbed my shit, been looking for time. Hold backs in time, I couldn't grab my time, and then they say everything is coming bags in time. They say everything is lifted like you couldn't grab your own shit in a bag of one time. I know, it's just another wave of milk. Maybe they changed that shit from the season that came from the north, came to the court. Maybe I came to the court. I could not see when I've been looking through my own ways to its own shore. So am I sure? That's the thing I don't know. Maybe it's the way that I hold this shit and I want to float. I don't even see myself no more. Sometimes I just want to say when I go, when the mirror goes away and disappears and goes away, I want to say when I float away, is it going to be the black of my soul? Is it going to be part of something I see, even though it could not even recede? That's something that I can't even be. What do I want to be? What is it, the thing that I can't even see? I hold myself and I want to create. Oh, I say the ways and they say they have to create. Hold bags and greats, hold bags and takes. Another time this fucking silence have to hold bags and say. For old Pete's sakes, another ways from its own Saint Nick. Hold bags and sinks and then he hold bags and things. He says nothing to the bags and sinks and he grabs and sinks and then he couldn't even grab this thing. I couldn't even grab this thing even though it's been part of its own missling. Grabs the disseling from its own missling. Been part of the whistling even though you're bissing the disseling. I say nothing but if it's own a straight of a Chris, it's motivated a fist. I could not even say when I've been holding my hand in a fucking fist. That's just another way of our own policy of man. Whole ways, couldn't even grab myself and I look my own ways. I grabbed that shit by the strand. Look at my string. I gave you a fucking pendulum and a violin, hold backs, and then you gave me, and then you hold me back and gave me a sin and snapped it back, and you said, do it again. Just another way you've been costing the host and costing the folks. I couldn't even get my shit, even though I've been buying my own fucking flow. Couldn't even buy my fucking cars to get these tires on right. Been grabbing my shit from the tires in sight. Been pushing this shit by 6 and then 6. I couldn't even hold myself. And when he gave me that 1-2 on my birthday and Earth Day, he couldn't even look at me on my fucking Earth Day. Just another day when we come as Earthlings. I couldn't even snatch this Earth thing, and then you have to snatch my Earth thing. And even though you've been birthing, girthing, and then I've been fucking flirting, I've been fucking flirting with this ways of death. And then you've been talking in ways like I couldn't even say myself what I said with my chest. Maybe that air's out. Maybe the air can't even get it out when I hit the fall, hit the cracks, and couldn't see my own Dumpty Dumpty. I couldn't even grab it, and even though he grabbed. Maybe it's just something. It's funny. It's nothing just a crack the cage, crack your face from its own cracker to crack your face, from its own patch to patch your face, to its own batch to batch your face, and then I see what it can go in like a straight catastrophe. Master fade and master gate. I'd rather you get my shit and then I grab my own TV, give it away, and then masturbate. I don't even understand how you couldn't even master task the great. I even though we try to give my own task to give you the great. What if I have to say for Pete's sake? I gave you this shit, gave back and shit, gave back and knack and shit. Couldn't me saying like I've been saying like this owner actor right went to right day, then right day, then that right day. Like, I couldn't even get my shit. I had to go through my own life, okay? So what? Maybe it's a sub. Maybe it's a part of its owner way to grub. I couldn't even own myself when I've been traded to grub. Hold back in the sub, and then he grabbed me back, and then sent me back like a straight gold finger. We've been looking for a submarine, looking for these old fucking nukes and grabs the suits. Hold back in suits. You couldn't even grab my own bags because I've been looking at the suit. So who am I to boo? Hold backs and roots, hold backs and suits. I couldn't even say my own fucking parachute. So what am I gonna do? I give you my own life and two, hold backs and life and two, grab my own back and life and two, dice and roof, and then you couldn't say my own dice, and then I gave my own dice. So you look at my room. So what? So what do you consume? What do you could do? What could you even do? What could you even know if I gave you what I could do? What if I gave you myself? What would you do? How would you say? How could you say to man today? How could we give this man a grand a day? I couldn't even give myself to a grand a day. Oh, man today. Looking at me, the man today. I didn't give myself even hot to demand today. Whoa, wow today. Man today, it's part of its own ways of man today. Couldn't even get the Mandela, the Rellas. I couldn't even say even though I'm grabbing the umbrella. Oh, man, just a rainy day on its own cold summer day. Hold back and drain. I've been praying for fucking rain. I get a little snow. Hold back and grow. I couldn't even get my own shit. So this old fucking hairs up my own mustache had to grow. Maybe 80s couldn't even reach a point. I couldn't even grab my own point on the road. I couldn't even see my shit behind the go. Never mind. Looking at Joyner. Yeah. I've been looking at those numbers where she's trying to give calls. Trying to get the shit, even though I've been looking for a call. Maybe it's the fact that I don't need a call. Been looking for Australia. Been looking for dingoes and regals. I couldn't even see myself part of its own ways of the seagulls. But you were giving me part of its own movie picture like a straight regal. I can't even say it, like I'm going, like I'm quacking like a straight seagull, beagles and eagles. I couldn't even see myself like a straight Shiloh. You've been sending me to the straight fucking yard, kicking me like you never even showed me alive. Couldn't even show me alive, holding and quoting a life, and showing and doting a life, and then even though I've been choosing my own life, holding in life, I've been growing in life, I've been holding my, even though I've been grabbing the hole in my dice. Then you want to say, you want to give me advice, hold back and rice, and then give me a bag of rice, and you say it's part of the grave. Don't look at it, eat, hold bags of seed. Hold bags and seeds, and then you get what? Maybe you might get a miracle, and it's just a bag of seed. Oh, man. Just the way you could have pantsing me, then you've been pantsing me, and then you've been laughing at me. I've been laughing at you because you couldn't even get the answer with them, even though I kept myself out of my own trance. I may be a little insecure, but maybe that's part of myself. I've been part of my own self for sure. What's wrong with that? I can't even give myself a song about it. And then you want to give me a song with that and whole bag of songs of that? Then you give me a whole bag of songs of that? Oh, I got myself like a straight song of that. Whole bags of songs with that. Couldn't even get yourself along with that. I've been wrongs of that. I've been part of his own wrongs of that. And then you want to say every time it's bong with that? Maybe get a little bong water in that. Whole bags and gong of that. Couldn't even get myself when I snatched the gong with that. Maybe it just make a splash. I couldn't even get this fucking rudder to satch, hutter to satch, and hutter to satch. I couldn't even rudder to get to your rash. Maybe you want to get me even you fucking harass. Just one day at a fucking task, old mask and gold mask, and then part of its own ways of gold mask, old mask, gold mask. I couldn't even get my gold mask on. Whole mask on, I got the straight machete to daddies. Couldn't even say it like a straight fucking. Are you ready? Part of it's ready, that's Geddies. Part of its ways about its Geddies and daddies. Oh no, just kidding. Holding back in the readies. I couldn't even get my own back in the letters. I couldn't back, and then I look at Dad's letter. Maybe Tigger couldn't even get my word. Just another word, part of the ways. I couldn't even look at my own tattoos. I couldn't even give myself the numbers of words. Part of the ways in the room. Part of the ways in the room. Maybe I've been trying to. Just another way in the room. When I look at this, I saw no ways at home of this. A chrome of this. I've been by the ways of chrome of this. Home of this. I could not look at my home. The home of this. Maybe it's just a fact when I've been looking for numbers and rumbers, I could not see what... No. I don't want to say part of the ways I'm looking for conundrum or dilemma. Then adding another thing. I've been just adding these things, just going around the thing. Just another. I have to go my own bouts of things. I have to add my own 16 rounds for me. Doesn't that make this? Wouldn't that make you scream and shout if you had to fight yourself and green them out and couldn't even get yourself and get your creaming out, beaming out? Could you been ultra beaming about? Oh, no seems about. I've been looking for this own beans around peas and routes, and I couldn't even get my peas and route. 2 peas in the pod. Couldn't even hold them back in the rod. Couldn't even hold back and then look at myself when I've been looking at the wall of my own fucking garage. So times I could not see times of solums and colums, and I couldn't get myself, even though you've been part of its own semicolon, rolling, I've been rolling and polling, I've been part of its own roly-poly when you've been touching my shit with God's fingerprints. Hold back some fingerprints, been holding my shit, even though I couldn't see it since. I'm trying to make sense of my own shit. Maybe I could not shit the own shit. I've been part of its own Rona shit. I've been boning shit even though I've been boning this shit. Holding this shit when the rudder been trying to get hold of this shit. Been looking at the clothes and shit. Bones and shit when it's sitting in its own woods. It's woods. I see nothing but my own trades goods. Oh, some days. Sometimes it's harder to sit in the woods. But would you understand what I said? Would it be part of the own mental capacity to understand if it was land or part of the ways of water? Would the own bodies understand that it was part of the ways it could not see it even though I look at my father? Oh man, I've been trading this Undertaker. Couldn't look in the Underrakers even though he was trying to get my own leads of how he been raking. For heaven's sake, heaven's stakes. I couldn't get myself a heaven's straight. You're trying to get yourself because you're being so great. Part of its own habitual. I mean, they couldn't get myself. And you want to say I've been switching? No. Oh no. Because I said a word about a bitch and a hoe. Oh no. Not that, because there's something angry that's been coming in that, but something rubbing in that, and I've been trying to, even though I've been looking at that, I've been looking at my pain to ride, I've been painting the ride, baited the ride, and painted it, even though I see it in the days of a life. Just some days of cries, even though you've been looking for the days of that fucking cry, braiding a ride, been painting a ride, been painting and braiding and braiding aside, baiting and lading aside, and dating and rating aside, dating trading and been trading and lading aside, part of its own relation and trading a ride, baiting and trading a ride. Just another days in the car, phasing the rock, and then drazing the rock. I couldn't even see myself because I'm looking like it's days of its own Roth. Moss, I couldn't say days and talk, days and cots, and about the days and wild days and part of the ways and end of days and raising the trades and raising K's and raising. I've been bought this shit. I've been opening my own fucking games with a straight razor blade. Yeah, I get that shit for free too. Holding back the free the twos. Couldn't see the twos. They couldn't even see two. Maybe I should think maybe Star Wars and Lucas. Maybe I've been holding back some suitcase. I couldn't even grab my own bag and suitcase. But I had to grab the boot, hey. Loot cage, and then loot cage. I've been sitting out of its own loot cage and root cage. Even though I've been spilling this ways and runs, and then he could not see me because I'm holding these gloves. Oh, just another day, another dead body on the ground. I had to grab my fucking rubbers and gloves. But the change, I can't even eat carbon. It's just a never story, the rever story. Even though I rever the tever's a story. I've been part of the weather, and even though you've been tethered, I could not even say myself. I've been looking at this own weather. Medicatters. I could see part of the weather decaters. Maybe a psychology could make part of its own ways. Maybe a psychologist could tell me of its own gist of my ways. Just a piss in the raid. Just pissing the raid. Maybe I'm just pissing my life away. Maybe it's just my own strumming of minds. I've been part of the waiting and crime. Been waiting and dating a line. Been part of my own hypertension. I couldn't even see myself. I couldn't even pay attention. Part of its own hyper, even though I've been part of its own sensitivity. Part of its own relativity. I can't even get my own words. I can't even get it twisted up. I have to even know fix it up. I've been trying to fix them up, give them a curve. Like I've never been having my own enthusiasm. Razzle, even though I try to give you a straight up razor. I don't even know what I do, rather. So I had to get my old soap and fucking lather, get myself on my body, getting part of it raiding the bodies. Couldn't even get myself in, I've been raising fucking bodies and lotties, and I say nothing when you want to say, oh, I've been writing in these words, writing in these search. Couldn't even look at my own rights and give my own search engine. Maybe just a little search. Said a little bird on its own perch. Maybe I couldn't see my ways. I couldn't even see the ways. I couldn't even occur to more birds. I see more words. I try to get myself to get my own blur. Murder. I couldn't even say murder curtain. I couldn't say turgid. I couldn't even say one day when the gold ring around the rosy. I see when the fucking bodies in these own clothes get to know myself. So Mosley. What do I say for the straight of manslaughter? The words could have soldered the godders, the solders, the bodders, the fathers. And even though I'm looking at the fathers, I could not see myself and going like straight cannon fodder. Why bother? I say, why bother? But they say we're part of its own strain. They say that I need to reprimand. That's not part of its own ways. They say nothing but trading, even though you're looking for your own heaven sent. You couldn't even look God, even though he gave you a gift. Hold back and stiff. You couldn't even hold yourself, even though you're giving your own dick a stiff. Oh man, I couldn't see myself a miss. Even though you see yourself a part of the stress, I couldn't even give myself a part of the myth. Hold backs and wrists, I see nothing but its own ways of gravy. Am I just going back to Granford? It's just another bracket fest. A bracket fest, and then I've been breaking base. Then I could not even get my shit. I get punched in the face. Hold backs and dates, I could not see for a shit for bags a day. Hold bag and say, hold bags and stay. Hold my shit for a whole couple days. Didn't even give a shit about their own shit for a couple days. I couldn't even bite on my left. Hold Biden's a step. I hold Biden even though I took it off a straight of its step. I called me even though I'm getting off the shit by straight of its step. Hold backs in the neck. I've been holding bags in the neck. I couldn't even grab myself and then you look at my neck. Hold back in the beating. Hold bags in the seating. Even though you're looking at the ways of the seat. Couldn't even grab it if you see. Be greedy me and then you've been greedy. Couldn't harder ways than to feed me. Leading me and then I say, what is this? Is this a lead and part of the ways in the red? Maybe it's just a water in the floor. I'd hold back in the grind. I can't even see this word because I didn't even look when I want to arrive. So, do I say myself, am I okay? Do I have to say every time I have to be okay? Do I need to smile just to say this shit is gonna be okay? Do I have to twist and hit my own arm? Do I have to fold my body just to say I'm in my own defense? Do I have to have my hands out of its own rest to say it's okay? Do I have to slow my heartbeats just to say it's gonna be okay? Do I have to get this shit just to say I'm gonna be okay? Or do you have to read this shit and put me through more shit the next day and then say okay? Maybe just another one the next day, rest day, and then you've been looking for the rest of the day and the best in the day even though you're looking for the best of the days. Do I have to keep changing my ways just to say the rage in the rage just because I out my shit even though I've been part of my rage of it today? Rage today. I've been looking even though you've been trying to get me to change my own pages for days. What you need me to do today? When you want to say, a couple of days, I would like you to do this. I'm going to add another song, so you go to YouTube, and then you siphon to this, siphon to this. I know you've been griping to this. I know you've been part of this, so I've been part of this reptile of this. By all of this, I've been nothing but of a straight pile of this, mile of this, and you're going for a straight 8 mile of this. I don't even know miles of this. I've been trying to get this shit for wild and this, mild and this. I couldn't even say. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to be? Part of his own way to gay? I don't even know my way. So, what do I look for numbers? How do I try to make a way to look at my number? How do I even try to give myself to trade for this ways? How do I try to trade myself just to say, maybe okay. Maybe okay. There might be a God today. Maybe it never impossible. Or maybe it ever it could be possible. I don't know. But that's maybe the problem where I've been part of the robbing this problem. And this is only by numbers and squares. Even if I got from 0 to 1, I wouldn't even care. Is that true, or am I just a bear? Sitting in part of this cave, hold back and save, and hold back and save, sit in this fucking bird, hold back and dirt. Could not even sit my own shit, couldn't even get my own derbs. Word. But maybe when I come back, I might see this way as a change of frequency, this own world, like say, where it's gonna come back to me, go back to Earth, just to change a little bit of this own change of time to look at a nurse. Maybe I have to do this shit and grab another person's purse, and then I see nothing. The way it grabs from the mirth. I changed the way of its own birth. Maybe I had to make more stories to make my own life part of its own ways of crime. Maybe it's just the ways in the crime because I had no way to cope in my own day in life because I've been sent for other person every day in my life. Maybe it's the fact that I had some people to look forward to. Everybody that looked forward, I couldn't even look for. But I have to say, it's part of the ways and more, right? Ways and more. Sitting in its own emporium. I've been looking for this word. I couldn't even get myself to get sore of them. So I have to say, what do you want me to say today? Do I have to give something to say that Shiloh's going to be this way? Do I have to say, hey, I know it's not always the same. I know it's not always going to have the same, but it always goes the same. It goes in the same circles, and I know what you're trying to say. Maybe you just want to say grow and change. Grow and change. I could not say it. It's just kind of funny.